How much money do you need for your business? Grants for the month of July. So this month we have many grants, from real estate grants, to rolling grants, to match grants, to women-owned business grants, to up to $50,000 in grants, and grants in many states. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde. Welcome. Please subscribe to the #1 community for real estate, income, grants, and credit. So if you'd like to know what these new grants are for the month of July, those that are expiring and need to apply now, make sure you watch the video to the end. Leave a comment below if you need help with anything. So we're going to be sharing with you new grants every month. From work from home grants, to SBA grants, to small business grants, to self-employed grants, to fast grants, to financial assistance grants, to startup grants, and much more. And we're going to be updating our calendar section on my website, AskRinde.com, where you can download July's grants list. And if you need help with grants and marketing for your business, how to get grants for your business consistently, and how to properly market your business to get business coming in on a monthly and a weekly basis, make sure you go to my website at AskRinde.com, click on marketing, and get started today. And if you'd like us to cover grants in your city and your state, make sure you drop your city and state in the comment section below so we can make sure that we cover you. Number 1, Dallas, Texas, the Elevate Together grant, $30,000 in grants. So the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce has teamed up with Office Depot to give grants to minority-owned businesses. So this is actually part of a grant program powered by Rounded Up America, which is actually a non-profit that focuses on profitability in the Black and Hispanic community areas. So as I've shared previously here on my channel, it's very important that you actually tie in with nonprofits that actually give grants for for-profit businesses. Many times with for-profit grants, you tend to focus on organizations that actually specifically are earmarked or state that they actually are for-profit, but you shouldn't do that. You want to make sure that you actually have connections with also nonprofits, because many times nonprofits such as Rounded Up America may be chosen to administer a grant program. And if you're not connected with them, you can actually miss out. So for this grant program, Office Depot has provided $30,000 in grants for minority-owned businesses. And to qualify to apply for this grant, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must have been in business for at least 9 months. Number 2, you must have 5 or less employees. Number 3, you must be located in Dallas. Number 4, you must be a for-profit business. And finally, number 5, you must be a minority-owned business. So previous grant recipients have thanked the program because they received $5,000 or more for their businesses, and it's actually been a game changer. So the deadline to apply for the Elevate Together grant program is July 5th. You can actually get more information and apply for this grant by going directly to their website at elevatetogether.org. Number 2, Raleigh, North Carolina, the Building Up Fit grant, $15,000 to $25,000 in grants. So the city of Raleigh is offering 2 new grant programs to entrepreneurs in that location via a match grant program. So the first grant program is called the Build Up Fit grant program, which is actually a grant program that assists property owners in transforming their vacant or unused commercial spaces into spaces that can actually generate activity and also generate revenue. So the whole goal here is to actually assist these people who actually have either vacant, unused spaces that they can actually use to start to actually create commerce and create activity in the area, thereby actually generating more revenues and also tax dollars for the municipality. So for this grant program, they actually give you the grant to renovate the space, to generate more business, and also create more jobs. And the second grant program is called the Facade Rehabilitation Grant. So this grant program helps businesses transform their spaces into attractive spaces, to draw more people to the business, to generate more tax revenue, generate more foot traffic, so that they can actually expand, create jobs, and also grow tax revenue throughout the municipality. So as you'll see, this is a recurring theme with grant programs like this all around the country, where they're incentivizing businesses to actually take either unused spaces, vacant spaces, or spaces that actually lack luster. You know, in this case with this rehabilitation grant, they're going to be giving them this grant to be able to help them with their exterior spaces to make it more attractive, so that as people actually see the space, they can actually be more drawn to the downtown or drawn to that area in order to make purchases and also patronize the business. So this grant is actually meant to repair or refresh their exterior, giving them a new look and a new feel. And for this particular grant, it's actually up to $10,000. So I must say this is actually a one-on-one match grant program. And the way match grants work is that you actually bring the matching funds, and in some cases they will actually ask you to provide receipts where they can actually reimburse you for the grant. So it sometimes is actually combined with where there's a reimbursement and also a match grant program. but this is actually a one-on-one match grant. Now, this is important to note that tenants can also apply for this grant, as well as property owners. So if you're a business owner, you're leasing a space and you're a tenant, you can actually apply for this, which is actually a great thing. So to qualify to apply for this $15,000 to $25,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number one, you must be located in Raleigh. Number two, you must be a for-profit business. Number three, you must be registered with the Secretary of State of North Carolina. And finally, number four, you must be located in their grant priority area. So they actually have a map where they actually are giving priority to specific areas, and those specific areas actually have priority when it comes to getting this particular grant. So the grant program launched on June 28th, and the deadline to apply for this $15,000 to $25,000 in grants is July 21st. So if you'd like to apply for this grant and get more information, you can actually go directly to their website at rileync.gov. Number three, Mount Jackson, Virginia. The Mount Jackson 5 grant. $10,000 in grant. So the city of Mount Jackson is incentivizing and encouraging economic growth by giving grants to businesses looking to establish in their downtown area. So as you'll see a recurring theme here, there's a lot of grants available for businesses that are looking to set up retail and also establish in downtown areas. In many cases, in this case, they're actually giving the money for you to actually relocate or to come to the area. So some cities and municipalities, they actually need to draw businesses. They need to draw commerce in. Their downtowns may not be buzzing. They may be stuck with just specific stores. And they may want to draw more anchor stores or more customer-friendly stores to incentivize people to come to the city. So there's actually a win-win where you can actually get the grant for your business and establish yourself, start to make money, but also help the municipality by generating more foot traffic, more revenues for the municipality, and drawing more people there, and they can actually spend more and ride up the tax dollars. So for this grant program, they're targeting 5 businesses. That's why they call it the Mount Jackson 5. They're actually going to be targeting 5 businesses, and along with the $10,000 in grants and cash, they're also going to be giving them 1 year free membership of the Chamber of Commerce. So in many ways, this actually functions as a relocation grant, because they're encouraging businesses to relocate to Mount Jackson, set up shop, and they'll give them the money in order to be able to do that. So if this fits you and you're in Virginia and you're actually considering setting up your business, this is actually an option for you, taking advantage of this relocation grant to establish your business by using the money to get on your feet. Now, to qualify and to apply for this up to $10,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number one, you must relocate to Mount Jackson. Number two, you must be a for-profit business. And finally, number three, you must be registered with the Secretary of State of Virginia. So if you'd like to get more information on this $10,000 in grants and apply for this grant, you can actually go directly to their website at mountjackson.com. Number 4, San Francisco, California. The BIPOC Entrepreneur Grant, $50,000 in grants. So the San Francisco Board of Supervisors has made available $50,000 in grants for small businesses. Now the focus of this grant program is on BIPOC entrepreneurs that are looking to lease retail space in the Fisherman Wharf area. Now it can actually be very expensive in setting up business, specifically a retail operation. Now in this location, to set up a business, it ranges from anywhere from $50,000 all the way up to $100,000. So it can actually be very capital intensive, and this has actually sidelined many BIPOC entrepreneurs. So these are entrepreneurs that are normally not used to getting capital, or they've actually been sidelined by all the red tape, and also they've been intimidated for applying for some of these grants because they've failed in the past or don't know that it's either available. So they're actually helping them by putting the word out with this grant program and encouraging these BIPOC entrepreneurs and these minority entrepreneurs to apply for this grant. And this grant program is being administered by the Office of Economic and Workforce Development Small Business Grant Program. So to qualify to apply for this up to $50,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be a for-profit business. Number 2, you must be registered with the Secretary of State of California. And finally, number 3, you must lease or own your space. So you actually must have a target of focusing on retail space in order to actually apply for and receive this grant. If you'd like to get more information on this BIPOC Entrepreneur Grant, you can actually go directly to the website at sf.gov. Number 5, New York, Broome County, the Small Business Development Grant, $50,000 in grants. So the agency, in partnership with Broome County in New York, has launched a new grant program for small businesses to help them retain and also expand their businesses. Now this grant program is very unrestricted in that it actually encourages businesses to use the funds for what they really need. So this grant can actually be used for real estate acquisition. Yes, you can actually use this grant in order to purchase and acquire real estate. You can also use this grant for your expenditures and also your capital operations or operating expenses, which is actually a really good thing because you're not limited. In some cases, grants can actually be very limited depending on the source. But just because you're going after for-profit grants and not nonprofit, it does not mean they're non-restrictions. In some cases, some grants actually have specific criteria that needs to be followed. This one is actually very unrestricted. It's giving the money to the entrepreneur to really help them use it where they truly need it or where they deem is the best fit for their business. Now, one key thing about this grant program is that businesses with designations, such as the MBWE, etc., they're actually going to have priority when they come to this grant program because they're focusing on helping and uplifting minority-owned businesses in order to actually get access to capital. Now, in some ways, as I shared earlier, this is actually also going to function as a reimbursement grant in that you're actually going to do whatever work you're going to be doing with the grant, and you will provide them with an expense, a receipt, or an expense slip or an invoice, and they will actually reimburse you the funds for what you've spent. So they're actually going to be combining this and actually having an element of reimbursement to this particular grant. So you need to be aware of that if you're applying for up to $50,000 in grant. So the grant program is being administered by the agency, as I shared earlier, and to qualify to apply for this up to $50,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number one, you must be a for-profit business. Number two, you must be located in Broome County. Number three, you must have 200 or less employees. And finally, number four, you must submit your expenses in order to be reimbursed for what you spent, and you actually get the grant in that form. So this is actually going to be a rolling grant. They're going to be giving this money out as funds are available. They've allocated a certain amount of money, and they're going to be giving this money to these small businesses. So we encourage you to continue to apply for it, as they actually will have this as a rolling grant, continually renewable until they actually exhaust all the funds. So if you'd like to learn more and apply for this up to $50,000 in grants, you can actually go directly to their website at theagency-ny.com. Number 6, Baltimore, Maryland, the BGE Energizing Small Business Grant, $20,000 in grants. So Baltimore Gas and Electric is back at it again with another round of their BGE Energizing Small Business Grant Program. So we've actually been sharing about this grant program here over the last few years, and they've actually consistently been giving out grants to businesses for the last several years. So the focus of this grant program is on historically underrepresented groups. So the goal here is to actually lift up those entrepreneurs who have not had the opportunity or the ease of access to capital. So since 2021, they've actually been giving out grants, and they've given out over $13 million to over 650 businesses. And each year, they give out $2 million twice a year. But we actually cover this every time they administer this grant program, and this grant program is being administered by Hello Alice. So to qualify to apply for this up to $20,000 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number one, you must be a for-profit business. Number two, you must have 25 or less employees. Number three, you must have $7 million or less in revenue on an annual basis. And finally, number four, you must be in the BGE or Baltimore Gas and Electric service area. So the deadline to apply for this $20,000 in grants is July 12th. You can get more information and apply for this grant by going directly to the website at helloalice.com/grants/BGE. Number 7, California, the Paid Leave Grant. $2,000 in grant. So California has launched a new paid family leave grant program for businesses between 1 and 100 employees. So employees utilizing this program make it possible for you as a business owner to apply for this grant. So many times when there's paid family leave, it's a burden on the business, especially if they're not generating the revenue. They have the employee gone, and they're actually supplementing and also covering the cost of that paid family leave. So in this is actually a great incentive, and it's also a great relief for many businesses because there's actually a heavier expense and actually a heavier burden on them, not only restaffing or having staff cover that person while they're out, but they're also paying for it. So this paid family leave grant comes in handy, and many businesses are really excited and happy about it because it actually is a win-win where they're getting the relief, they're able to help the employee in whatever emergency, but they're also getting reimbursed or they're getting the money back to keep their businesses going and continue to keep their doors open and actually thrive and hire more people. So with this paid family leave grant program, they actually give up to 8 weeks of wage replacement, which is actually welcome news for many businesses. So to qualify to apply for this $2,000 in grants for your business, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must have between 1 and 100 employees. Number 2, you must be registered with the Secretary of State of California. Number 3, you must be a for-profit business. And number 4, your employee must be on the paid family leave program on or after June 1st of 2024. So if you'd like to get more information and apply for this $2,000 in grants, you can actually go directly to their website at californiapfl.com. Number 8, Franklin, Indiana, the Small Business Capacity Building Grant Program, $2,500 in grants. So the Greater Franklin Chamber of Commerce has actually launched the second round of its Small Business Capacity Building Grant Program. So we've actually covered round 1 when they launched, and we've shared all the information about this great grant program and how it's impacted so many businesses in that location. So for this particular grant, the Franklin Chamber Foundation is actually administering this grant program. And the goal of this grant program is that they plan to award 12 local businesses with grants of $2,500 each. So the grants are capacity building grants. So for an example, if you're a retail space and you have a physical space, they want to help you shore up that space. If you're online and you're actually trying to compete or elevate your presence in an online platform, they want to help you do that. So their goal is to actually help expand your capacity, build your capacity, so you can keep your business strong and actually generate more income, more revenue, and also hire more people. So the funds for this grant program is being provided by the Franklin Economic Development Commission, and they've made it a seamless process and a simple process in applying for it, where it's actually a form you just click on their link and you can actually start the process of applying for this grant. So to qualify and to apply for this $2,500 in grants, you must meet the following criteria. Number 1, you must be located in Franklin. Number 2, you must be registered with the Secretary of State of Indiana. Number 3, you must have 10 or less employees. And finally, number 4, you must be a for-profit business. So the deadline to apply for this $2,500 in grants is August 2nd. You can actually get more information by going directly to their website at franklincoc.org. Number 9, the SBA, New Women Business Center Grant. $30 million in grants. So the SBA has recently announced that they're giving out over $30 million in grants to open women business centers all across the country. So they're encouraging eligible organizations to apply for this grant, and they're going to be giving out and allocating $150,000 to each eligible and qualified organization. Throughout the U.S., there are over 152 of these such organizations, women business center organizations, and they help women with everything from government contracting, entrepreneurial services, training, practical assistance, and also getting access to funding. So as I shared earlier, you need to be connected with key nonprofits and also organizations. This is very important because many times you'll find that in some cases, grants will not come through just a for-profit entity. They may actually come through nonprofits, and it's those nonprofits you're aligned with that you actually have your eyes open and you're aware of, that you have those relationships with, and you can actually apply early and many times beat many others who may not even be aware or never think that a for-profit grant can come through that source. So if you have other entrepreneurs in your location and they're not thinking about a nonprofit or women's business center or a or organization that they thought would not help for-profit businesses, but because you're tapped in, you have access to many times funding that's available that nobody either knows about and applies for, and you're the only person in line or you're the first to apply, giving you a higher chance to win the grant. So as I shared, the SBA is giving over $30 million to these women business centers all across the country. So if you'd like to know what are the top women business centers that you should go for, you can ask by emailing me at AskRinde@gmail.com. So these are just a few of the new grants for the month of July. We couldn't include all the grants as we try not to keep the videos too long. But if you'd like us to cover your city and state, make sure you drop your city and state in the comment section below so we can make sure that we cover you. Also, as I shared earlier in the video, if you'd like help with your business, how to get grants for your business consistently, how to also market your business properly, and get business coming in, generate business, generate cash flow, which is very important. The more cash flow you generate, the higher the chances are and the better position you're going to be in order to be able to get grants. It's not just about getting grants to start up a business. It's not just about getting grants to pay for your expenses. You need cash flow. You need to know how to actually generate business on demand and have a consistent pipeline moving in your business. And in order to do that, you need to know how to properly market your business. So we want you to actually win, not just getting grants. We show you the formula for grants in our Grants Masterclass, but we also have the formula how to help you win and grow and scale your business and your operation. So you can actually reach out to us by going directly to my website, AskRinde.com, clicking on grants, and also clicking on marketing and getting started today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email me anytime. My email address is AskRindeNetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.